This is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Atlanta's postseason hopes dangles on a string. At 5-6 here in the final weekend of the regular season, the Swarm must win tonight to have a chance of taking a wild card spot. Standing in their way is the team who spoiled Houston's South Division title aspirations a week ago, the Jacksonville Kings. The Swarm and Kings collide at the Hive. Good evening, folks. I'm Tyler Fall. Even though Jacksonville have already been knocked out of playoff contention, they have gotten hot here at the end of season 19, rattling off 3 wins in 4 games. I'd now like to welcome in my broadcast partner for the evening, Jack Brown. Jack, Houston fell into the clutches of the Kings last week. What is Atlanta going to have to do tonight to escape the pitfalls that plague the Headhunters and keep their faint playoff hopes alive?
Well, Tyler, I gotta say, just about this Jacksonville team in general, they've been red hot recently, winning back-to-back games, of course, as you were talking about, spoiling Houston, South Division title hopes last week. The main thing Atlanta has got to be careful about is that they got to make sure that they can keep the turnover bug down for Bryant Dynasty. He's been having a bit of a problem with that all season, and Jacksonville loves taking advantage of it. So if they can keep that under control, they should be good.
We'll see how much the improvement Jacksonville has made since their Week 2 clash when Jordan Sipe, the rookie QB for Jacksonville, threw 6 interceptions. Bryant Dynasty not a whole lot better in the win. 3 interceptions, and Atlanta took the win 19-12. But it all comes down to this. Atlanta-Jacksonville. Atlanta kicks us off to begin the ball game as here we go. It's do or die for the Swarm. On the return for Jacksonville is Azariah Wade. He'll try and take it up to the near side. Great spin move from the return man as he gets up to the 24-yard line. And that will see us introduce Jordan Sipe onto the field for his first possession under center here in Week 14.
Yeah, and last time, Tyler, as you were mentioning, Sipe did not have a good run of form against the Atlanta Swarm all the way back in Week 2. 1 touchdown for 6 interceptions in that ball game. He's looking to rectify that coming into tonight.
Last week, however, against Houston, he threw for over 80% completion percentage as Atlanta send the blitz on first down. Sipe evades the pressure long enough, fires it off to the left to his tight end, Caesar Ackerman, and that'll be a quick first down here for the Kings.
And that's the sort of thing that you like to see out of a quarterback, just kind of like those short to mid-range play stuff that isn't too flashy but gets the job done. Jacksonville's going to need a heck of a lot of those.
Pass to Ackerman, 11 yards up here to the 35-yard line. First and 10, 3 wide as Atlanta again punched through the interior of the offensive line, and down goes Jared Willis. He's taken down by Joshua Williams in the backfield for a loss of 3.
Yeah, if there's anything that this Atlanta Swarm defense is known for, their front 7 has been lethal as long as these two teams have been playing each other. And they play each other a lot, Tyler, and Joshua Williams is the anchor of their D-line.
Jacksonville holds serve here in the matchup history. 9 wins, 7 losses. Willis with a nice move through the offensive line to pick up all those yards lost and a few extra more.
Yeah, makes it a nice 3rd and reasonable. You have a whole lot of plays in your playbook that can get you 6 yards. Let's see what Jacksonville can come out with.
Jacksonville on 3rd down. One of the better teams, top 12 in the league with just over 50, that'd be over 50 up to 60% on 3rd downs this season. Sipe, corner route, it's picked off. Excellent read by the defender, and back goes Atlanta back the other way. Here they go, some down the sideline. It's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown, Atlanta Swarm. It's Jay Miraculous who gets Atlanta on the board first.
You know, his name may be miraculous, but that is all too common for Jay and this Atlanta Swarm defense. We were just talking about it last week. The last time these two played, Sipe struggled with these turnovers, and Jay Miraculous just jumped the route. Looked like the ball itself was underthrown, and he just ran it back the other way. 6-0 in favor of the Swarm already.
3rd pick of the season for Jay Miraculous, his 2nd career pick 6. And Atlanta will look to tack home the extra point. Sammy Steele is the kicker for Atlanta. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. It's a great start for Atlanta's defense, forcing Jacksonville, forcing the turnover out of sight. A pick six for Miraculous, and Atlanta's on the board first, Jack.
Yeah, that's the exact sort of start that you need from Atlanta. You know, just keeping it going, establishing the momentum, because if you're in Atlanta's shoes right now, you're looking to at least have that shout of the playoffs, even if some of the events earlier tonight not exactly benefiting them so far.
We'll talk about that more here in a second as Way gets his second return of the night up to the 22-yard line and no further. Carolina and Canton, the victors in the early block. Both of those teams came into the weekend at 5-6. I'm being told by the SFL commissioner, Cameron Irvine, that with an Atlanta win, that would put Atlanta in front of those two teams unofficially due to the strength of victory. Moment. Of course, not the selection show. That's a complete different sport entirely. The scenario show comes up tomorrow night. We'll discuss all the probabilities then on late night SFL action for all of you as the run up the middle for Jared Willis gets about 2. And let's introduce you to the rest of that Jacksonville offense. Jordan Sipe, the quarterback, with Jared Willis at the tailback spot. Grayson Willis, Azariah Way, and Kingston Ellington are the wideouts. Joel Harleman and Caesar Ackerman are the tight ends, with the Bleeker twins, Olivia and Alden, at left tackle and left guard, along with Brian French at center. 2nd and 8 here for the Kings. Sipe going to look for a dump off left to Jared Willis. Willis turns upfield, picks up 7 to the 31-yard line.
One of the longest standing nicknames here in the SFL, Tyler, is Jared Willis being the E-back for this Jacksonville Kings team. And you can see it right there. He can run it out of the backfield, but he's also one of the better receiving backs here in the Simulation Football League.
Jared Willis's career in terms of receptions, a couple more tonight, started off in the top 10 all time with 840 career receptions, close to 3.5 thousand receiving yards. He gets another call on the swing pass, and it's another first down for the Kings.
And that's good to get Jordan Sipe back into a rhythm, reestablish that confidence. That's what you really need to do if you are Jacksonville and you just saw your guy throw a pick six.
Nice, easy, short passes. Reestablishing the game plan here for Jacksonville early on here in the ball game. One tight end, 2 wide receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. Here's Jacksonville going to the eye. Deep drop. Atlanta send pressure. Pass left side caught. That's Ackerman, the tight end, hauling it in for a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, and so far here, Tyler, it seems to be that Jacksonville is using mostly just the safety valve options, either Willis or Ackerman. Not really getting the receivers involved too much apart from that pick six. So you would like to see him get a little bit more involved.
Only time will tell. They go with a run from Jared Willis, left side with plenty of room, and he has a lot of speed under his wheels there as he gets up to the 31-yard line of Atlanta. Great acceleration from Jared Willis.
And you can see it right here. The blocking on the outside was immaculate, getting the seal to the outside. Willis just needed to keep running forward. It wasn't a very complicated run on his end. Just needed to go forward.
They call on their tight ends a lot in the blocking category. Joel Harleman out there sealing the edge on the outside. Sipe going to change the play up at the line. 4-3 look here out of Atlanta. Atlanta sent 4. Sipe looking near side. Caught by Kingston Ellington for a pickup of 7. Down to the Atlanta's 24. Let's quickly introduce you to the Atlanta defense. Anthony Bonard, Leo Jefferson, BRV, Billy Ray Valentine, and Joshua Williams are the defensive linemen. Bree Higgins, Diamond Blackwell, Aquantis Shine, the linebackers. Jack Napier, Don Fletcher, and the man who's got the first points of the ball game with the pick 6, Jay Miraculous at corner, with Moose Papanow, Brent Hardaway, and Chris Henry manning the safeties. We're going to go a stretch play, Jacksonville near side. It's bottled up quickly by Leo Jefferson. Was unfazed by Willis's spin attempt.
Yeah, and that's a real good quality that you can have when you're on the front seven. Just watching the waist is what you're always taught early on in your football career. Don't look at the feet. Don't look at, what the head's doing. Just look at the waist. Look where they are positionally and go for that.
Third down here for the Kings. Sipe going to look to his E-back, left side. Jared Willis, first down, a couple extra yards up inside the red zone down to the 19. Taken down by Moose Papineau.
And this is a much better drive here from Jacksonville compared to their last one. Fundamentally not too different, but Sipe is limiting the mistakes, which is exactly what the coaches wanted him to do.
The swing pass is working well on the drive, helping set up this red zone trip. Another deep drop here from Sipe, looking left side, caught by Ackerman. We've seen that play thrice now here in the first quarter, and it works for another Jacksonville first down. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, and Ackerman just is. There's a reason why they keep going to him, is because he's being really effective so far, getting about 8 or 9 yards every single touch.
Currently averaging just over 10 tonight. 3 targets, 3 receptions here for Caesar. As it's 1st and goal, Sipe under pressure, and down he goes! Tackled by Joshua Williams on the outside.
And what did I say earlier? Joshua Williams, Swole, the big man, has been the anchor of this defense, especially on the defensive line, and he just plows through and gets the sack.
Just looked like the offensive lineman was just almost ushering him to the quarterback, sadly. 2nd and goal now from just outside the 10-yard line. 2 wide receivers right, offset eye behind Sipe. Side, quick drop, left side for Willis. Has the corner, and he is going to be not just shy of the end zone. A touchdown-saving tackle by Diamond Blackwell.
And that sack now was probably made more important by the fact that had he not gotten that, that would have been an easy vault into the end zone for the Kings. But now they're about a stone's throw away from the end zone. Let's see what we can do.
3rd and goal from the goal line. Sipe, quick drop, looking over the middle, tipped and picked in the end zone. And that's going to be Atlanta football. And it's Moose Papineau who comes up with a tip drill pick.
Now is not the time to be throwing these sorts of beanball throws right at the end zone. You need to be direct, you need to be quick, and Atlanta takes advantage of that, and now they're on offense.
Only on offense for the first time tonight. Take a look at that. Their first drive comes at the 4-minute mark. Close to 7 minutes of time of possession here for the Kings. As Atlanta and Bryant Dynasty come out with a bunch set, pass near side. It is caught by Kyle Finnemore on what is a career low season for him, but he picks up 10 here for the first play from scrimmage for Atlanta's offense.
Yeah, he came over here from Houston last season. As you said, been having a bit of a down year, but still is very effective. He was one of the top sought-after wide receivers on the free agency market last year, and he's still proved that, and he's still proving why.
Bryant Dynasty is now in the gun alongside BDG Hollywood. Off to his left, Hall of Famer looking for a few more records tonight. Deep pass over the middle, and they hook up again. It's Siege Falco who gets them across the 50.
Siege Falco, one of the longest standing members of this Atlanta Swarm team, just going right over the middle, beat out the man, created a window for Bryant Dynasty to throw it right to him, and he picks up a huge gain.
Just like that, they start off on the 20. All of a sudden, they're across midfield and at Jacksonville's 45-yard line. 1st and 10 here for the Swarm. They'll go in the direction of the offset eye. BDG taken down for a couple of yards. In the backfield, getting back into the backfield is John Martin, who is on an absolute tear this season.
Yeah, John Martin, the assistant general manager of this Jacksonville Kings team, as you said, he's been on an absolute tear. He's done everything for this Kings team, and he is a super valuable asset.
Martin with 16 TFLs, make that 17 with his latest one, a career high for Mr. Martin, the assistant general manager over here in Jacksonville. And the run up the middle gets to about back to the line of scrimmage at the 45, make the 46-yard line. 3rd and 10 now here for the Swarm. 4 wide receivers starting to maybe slip up a little bit here on the drive after some very nice opening plays. Dynasty going to look for a deep shot. Right side, double coverage and incomplete. Looking for Falco. Zomelian in on the coverage. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that was a bit of a risky throw. It looked like 2-on-1, almost 3-on-1 coverage on the sideline there. A little bit of a questionable throw from Dynasty, but alas, it's 3rd and 10. You know, you have a lead. It's not that crazy, so they can just punt it away.
So out comes the punter for Atlanta, Lopan. Azariah waits deep to return. Hand is going to punt this one away. Way is going to wave off this one, and it's going to take an Atlanta bounce all the way to the goal line. What a punt from Pan, and now Jacksonville have their backs against the wall. And so the Kings will come out to start their 3rd drive of the ball game, and it's a very precarious situation for the rookie quarterback. He will snap it from inside his own end zone. Quick drop. Swing pass, left side for Jared Willis, spinning out of a tackle, and he lost the football! Atlanta will take over inside the red zone. Jay Miraculous picks up the fumble, and it's Swarm football.
Oh no, Tyler, 2 plays that absolutely could not have gone worse for these Jacksonville Kings. A punt that pinned them on the goal line, and then Caesar Ackerman just fumbling the ball, or the receiver fumbling the ball, Ackerman with the tackle, and now the Swarm are at the 11-yard line and are looking to go up by 2 scores.
To say this is good starting field position for Atlanta is an understatement. Offset eye behind Dynasty, 4-3 look out of Jacksonville. Dynasty going to look to throw over the middle and incomplete. He's looking for big number 84 for Atlanta. That would be Shonuff, the backup tight end.
Not a terrible throw, and I can get the play calling. It's 1st and 10. You're at the 11. You know, take some risks, have some fun.
Here on 2nd and 10, they go back to an offset eye. 2 wideouts off to Dynasty's left. Dynasty gonna fire and deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Chisholm! And Atlanta have broken this first quarter wide open.
And you know, it's strange too, Tyler, because this score line is definitely making it look like it's going to be a whole lot of Atlanta Swarm football today. However, it's not been that crazy so far, but this play to Boo Chisholm right at the back of the end zone. Atlanta taking advantage of not only the excellent punt, but then the fumble, and they're going to be going up 2 whole scores.
And that last touchdown for Boo Chisholm times James Cooley for 3rd all-time in receiving touchdowns with 88 on Boo Chisholm's Hall of Fame career. Sammy Steele's extra point is up and good. It's Atlanta 14. They hold all the momentum. Jacksonville with a big fat donut currently on the score line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. As Steele puts his boot through the ball and Way makes another return, trying to cut to the near sideline. He's ultimately undercut at the 22-yard line. And so Jacksonville come out to start another drive. 2 turnovers early in the ball game, partner. It looks a lot like that Week 2 clash between these two clubs.
Yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate here for Jacksonville to start out with. A fumble and an interception that went back for 6. Effectively, both went back for 6 if you really think about it.
Points off of turnovers might come back to haunt Jacksonville. Pass outside. It is caught. Wheeling his way around is Jason Stackhouse, the tight end, for 2 yards. After the short pickup on first down, it's now 2nd and 8 here for the Kings. Safety creeps up a little bit there on that far side. Atlanta showing blitz as they're going to go with a run. Near side, Willis, he cannot escape Cree Higgins, the linebacker. Only a short gain, and it brings up a crucial, well, not really a crucial third down, but a crucial third down if you're looking to make some progress in this game, partner.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a crucial third down. You're down by 2 scores, and most likely a punt in this position would put Atlanta at their 40, maybe even midfield. They need to get the first down.
Sipe going to look over the middle, finds Ackerman before he's blasted to the turf. It's a first down for the Kings.
And that is exactly what the doctor ordered. They already had a heavy dose of Caesar Ackerman. Why not a little more? Up the dosage a little bit. Gets him up to the 40. And Jacksonville seems to be pretty much utilizing him and Willis to get their offensive production.
Higgins on coverage, turned quickly to try and keep up with the speedy tight end. And ultimately, just out of coverage on that play. Swing pass near side for Jared Willis. Out of a tackle, and then he's brought down. Only a short pickup. Jacksonville's swing pass is starting to get read rather well by Atlanta's defense. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. 14-0. It's the Swarm here at the Hive with the lead. Jacksonville trying to play spoiler here in this East Division clash. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music right here on YouTube. Welcome back to the Hive here in Atlanta, Georgia. Tyler Falk and Jack Brown here in the booth. Always glad to have Eddie Gage and Mark Chisholm in the stats truck. Swing pass near side, and it's going to be the fullback, Brad Foreman, who gets the call. Or no, check that. Joe Harleman, the tight end, leaking out there.
Yeah, it just seemed to be he needed to take a step forward on the route, go to the outside. Definitely looked like a fullback running out there. But he had the hands of the tight end and just ran it forward for a first down.
Now across the 50-yard line, we might see a little bit more of a heavy dose out of Willis, who had 12 touches of the football in the first quarter, but he's going to actually take a break on the sideline here on 1st and 10. Sipe, deep corner route, one-handed pick for Atlanta, and he has an entourage near far sideline. There's no one in front of him. 2 pick sixes for Atlanta's defense as he will saunter. Oh no! Jack Napier, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jack Napier? He showboated and he gave away the pick six.
Tyler, you said it too early. Oh, this happens again. And it would have been defensive play of the year too. Oh, Jack making all of us with that first name look silly right now. Oh, goodness.
And just like that, it goes from being a 3-score ball game to the Atlanta offense having to do a little bit extra after the undisciplined play, after an incredible play from Napier. Swing pass left side, Boo Chisholm. That will put the dagger into the play, and Atlanta now have a 3-score ball game.
You see? It's never in until it's in, but this play right here, BDG Hollywood, Atlanta loves running this at the goal line, and it's a good play to run, you know? You get enough yardage in front of you, it's a score, and Atlanta goes up by 21.
Well, just like that incomplete pick six, partner, we still got to kick the extra point. So currently 20 if we're going to be all technical about it. But here comes heavy.
True. I've seen some crazy things happen with special teams.
Absolutely. Steele's extra point is up and safely through. 21-zip. The Swarm buzzing here in the Hive. The SFL network is coming to the ESTV Plus app 24/7. SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone or on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire, Vizio, and more. The SFL Network, where SFL creators come together. On the return now is Way as he tries to make a man miss at the 20, and he can't. Be taken down right at the 20-yard line, and that is where Jacksonville will take over for another drive. And Sipe's got to have a short-term memory. He's got to have amnesia or something for what happened here to begin the ball game.
To go run to the sideline, run into the nearest wall, maybe that'll clear the memories. But yeah, you got to have a short memory about that sort of stuff.
1st and 10 now here for Jacksonville. Swing pass near side. Willis can't escape the tackle by Miraculous. Taken down by 6. What a day so far for Jay Miraculous. Pick 6 and a fumbled recovery.
Yeah, not much more you can really ask out of most corners here in the SFL. Most corners would consider that a pretty satisfactory day at the office.
I would have to concur as well. 2nd and 4. Here for the Kings on their own 26. Play action. Sipe going to look right side, finds Caesar Ackerman. He's been the most reliable target besides Willis here for the Kings as they pick up a first down. Here comes the Kings here on 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Offset eye behind Sipe. They'll go with Willis on the ground, and he is eaten alive for a loss of 1. A crunching tackle from Diamond Blackwell combining with Leo Jefferson.
Yeah, sending Willis back a yard, and really this whole Jacksonville offense is just that's been really the microcosm, trying to get something going with the safety valves, but even the safety valves just aren't working.
Wide receiver look. Here as Jacksonville come out in the eye. Deep 7-step drop from Sipe. Now looks near side. We'll find Caesar Ackerman on that little crossing route. We've seen so much tonight. He'll pick up a couple.
I mean, the unfortunate part about that, Tyler, was the fact that Ackerman was coming back in to make the catch. That's never what you want to see out of your receiving targets. You want to move the ball down the field a little bit.
Well, if he runs his normal route like we've seen on a couple of plays, he's got 3 defenders in the area that would have undercut the pass and picked it up. So I kind of like that. As Sipe looks over the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted. Almost looked like it was a drawn-up play, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and finally, Jacksonville gets to at least breathe a little bit, even if they are going to be without the football once again. At least they give it up on their own terms, which is unlike their usual drive-ending plays.
And Hardaway turned his head around at just the right time. Excellent defensive awareness from the free safety. And out comes, for the first time tonight, Howard McCoy to punt this one away. Boys punt is on its way. Kyle Finnemore will elect to call for a fair catch at his 33-yard line, and he hauls that in without any trouble. The SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest is officially up and running. Think you can draft the best team every week while staying under the salary cap, or maybe you just want to enhance your SFL experience. Free to play, no season-long commitment, and a new contest opens every week on Tuesday night. Join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Steven Hacker, or Hunter Norwood to join today. Dynasty going to look for a deep pass here on the first play of the drive, and he hits his target! Boo Chisholm has 3rd all-time to himself! Touchdown, Swarm! It's a landslide here at the Hive!
And I bet anyone who put Boo Chisholm on their fantasy team this week, Tyler, is dancing a little jig after seeing him all alone on an island, sprinting to the end zone. That's going to be another 6 on the board for Atlanta, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's such a swarm. It's like I don't even know how to describe it.
It's carnage. It's a catastrophe. It's bedlam here at the Hive. Sammy Steele on an attack on the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. An invasion is another way we can describe it, thanks to Eddie Gage in the truck. Maybe it's a rout, but Atlanta taking over this football game.
I've come to the perfect conclusion. It's that one scene from My Girl, the swarm of the swarming bees, and unfortunately Jacksonville's Macaulay Culkin just has to take it all in.
So Steele's going to go ahead and kick this one away, and things are really looking up for Atlanta. And if this is the catalyst, if things go their way, other teams slip up, Atlanta might be looking at this game as the catapult for their postseason dreams and aspirations as they take down Azariah Way at the 19-yard line at Jacksonville. To say they have to climb out of a hole, well, that's maybe not too far from the truth.
I mean, yeah, 28-0 is definitely a hole to climb out of. And realistically, it's not even like their offense is doing anything that I can be like, that's what you need to do, because what is working is way too conservative for now.
Deep shot here from Sipe, and he will hit his man for a huge gain to Kingston Ellington to the 43.
Now, you see, they were hearing my concerns about everything being too conservative, Tyler. So you know what they did? Jordan Sipe, he heard me say that in real time and decided to go aggressive, throwing it down the field to Kingston Ellington. Probably the biggest play from Jacksonville today so far.
24 yards for Ellington as he's going to take a little breather on the sideline as Jacksonville's going to come out here in a heavy set. They're in the second play of the drive. 8 men in the box here for Atlanta's defense to try and counter this heavy set. Sipe going to look to throw, looks right side for Ackerman. Ackerman out of a tackle and then folded up after picking up 6.
And really the only highlight so far for this Jacksonville offense this first half has been the fact that Ackerman's been doing pretty decently for himself so far.
I formation here for the Kings. Deep drop here from Sipe, looking for it all over the middle. He's got it! Grayson Willis! Touchdown! Jacksonville, and they spring back to life.
Jacksonville finally gets it back in the end zone for the first time today. And of course, it's their number one man for about as long as I think I've been in this league. Grayson Willis just seam right inside of the defender's hands, no one around him. And that's going to make it a 28-6 ball game. After the extra point, it might be 28-7.
What an explosion of offense. That 51-yard touchdown adds to a total of 5 here tonight. They only had 2 combined touchdowns in their meeting earlier this season in week 2. Jordan Bradshaw on attack home the extra point here for Jacksonville. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. Kings on the board for the first time tonight with the Ellington touchdown. It's 28-7 Atlanta with a 21-point lead. The SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creations. Tuesday, October 11th, join Dave Axis and the Axis Live crew as the show returns for a special Season 19 playoff preview. To check out archive versions of community shows, visit simulationfl.net and click the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. On the return now is Fenimore, and he'll be taken down at the 23-yard line, and now the Atlanta offense gets to go back to work and maybe continue their good run of form.
Yeah, and for Atlanta, I don't know if there's really much criticism you can have. 21 points on offense to this point so far, Tyler. And they just seem to keep running. Well, that's the one thing they haven't really been doing too much. They haven't really been running the ball. Although this looks like a formation where they do it.
They will go to BDG up the gut, and he will not go anywhere. Taquan Hale, the defensive end, comes into the interior of that line and takes down BDG.
Hale is, much like BDG, one of the legends of this league to this point. Second all-time in sacks behind Alex Dominguez.
It's very much a who's who with Atlanta's offense and Jacksonville's defense, isn't it, partner? Pass near side off the helmet of John Martin. Incomplete.
Yeah, that seemed to be a little bit of a strange throw, strange decision-making by Bryant Dynasty, throwing it that way as opposed to just, going for some sort of better availability. I guess that may have been what was best for him.
Third down here for Atlanta. They have not struggled on third down a whole lot at all tonight. Dynasty now going to look for a throw, spiraling into triple coverage and just a little bit too far for Kyle Fenimore. In with the deflection is Terrence Pearson, and that will result in a shocking 3-and-out for Atlanta.
Yeah, that is something that I don't think we would have seen at this point of the ball game. A 3-and-out, as they're going to have to punt this one away. In Jacksonville, well, they're certainly starting to build at least some sort of momentum.
2 third downs the night for Atlanta. They have failed on both of them, unfortunately. Only had a couple of quick drives. Their first drive entirely lasted all in total of 6 plays. Every single drive since then has been just a quick 2-shot or a 1-play drive for a touchdown, another 1-play for a drive for a touchdown, and a quick 3-and-out here on this last drive. So Jacksonville's clearly had more time of possession, but really hasn't done a whole lot with it. However, that huge 51-yard passing touchdown on the last drive might be the catalyst for Jacksonville's offense here as we tick closer to the halfway point here in the second quarter. Let's go on the ground here to begin matters here. Willis off to the right has to fight his way through traffic to gain only 2 yards.
Yeah, but the 2 yards is definitely something that could be valuable to him, where rushing yards in this game so far, Tyler, have been coming at a premium.
Only 26 or thereabout yards for Willis. No rushing yards for BDG to this point. Go back to the ground game. Willis finds a hole off to the right, fighting with 2 defenders, and gets close to that imaginary yellow line, but unable to break the plane. Third and 1 now here for the Kings. Third down. Been a little bit more kind to Jacksonville than Atlanta. They're currently 4 of 6. Handoff. Willis, down he goes in the backfield. A loss of 4 on the play, and Atlanta's defense puts Jacksonville out on 3 plays.
And Anthony Bonar comes in flying and hits it where it hurts. A nice tackle for loss to put this drive to an end.
After an early flurry of points, things may be starting to calm down just a little bit as the punt is away from McCoy. Back deep is Cal Fenimore. Again, will call for a fair catch at his own 21-yard line. Out comes Bryant Dynasty in the Atlanta offense. Now, partner, we were talking about BDG earlier in our broadcast meeting. BDG a few yards away from being the first SFL player to break the 15,000-yard rushing mark.
Yeah, he's 22 yards away, currently on pace for 0 of them. But just one big run, he could hit that milestone.
Dynasty going to look to throw, stepping up into the pocket, hits his man over the middle, first down and plenty more here for Atlanta. It's a big gain of 26.
And that is Boo Chisholm, who's been having himself, even for his Hall of Fame standards, a career day, catching that missile over the middle of the field. That'll, I think, bring him over 100 yards receiving tonight. And he's just been moving the ball at will.
First and 10 from the 47. Dynasty takes a 5-step drop, looking for an out route near side. Caught by Siege Falco at midfield for a pickup of 3.
A nice simple catch for Falco as he falls over and gains 3 on that play. As he says, caw in the chat.
Lots of caws, a staple, if you will, of these wide receivers. Siege Falco gets the call, Boo Chisholm. Of course, you hear lots of boos even from these home faithful. Second and 7. Dynasty looking for it all near side, going up the ladder to get it is Kyle Fenimore, and he's across the 30 into Jacksonville's 27.
And as I was saying earlier, Tyler, he is still, even with a down year, proving his worth as one of the hottest free agent wide receivers from last season. And he just keeps the ball moving. Atlanta's offense, they have not missed a beat.
As they continue to roll down the field with very good precision. Pinpoint precision, if you will. Dynasty under pressure, out of a tackle. Can he escape the second one? No, he cannot. Forrest Dalton gets to the quarterback for a loss of 7.
Forrest Dalton sitting the man down, making sure the Dynasty was not going to continue the onslaught, and puts Atlanta back towards the 35-yard line, now even putting them debatably out of their own field goal range.
Maybe just there or about. From the 34, pass near side, caught by Jamal Wooding, the tight end, will pick up 5 or 6 of those yards lost. Third and 11 now here for Atlanta. As the Kings looking to maybe minimize the damage just a little bit. 3-2 dime package here for Jacksonville. Empty backfield here for Dynasty. Down he goes. 2 sacks on the drive will put an end to the drive here for Atlanta.
And that grinds everything to a halt for Atlanta as the Kings finally get some sort of stop on defense. And Sammy Seal's going to come out and attempt a 48-yarder.
After the 2-minute warning, 28-7, Atlanta with the lead. They'll try and extend that lead. We come back. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. .48-yard attempt here for Sammy Steele from his right hash. Welcome you back to the Hive here in Atlanta. Tyler Falk, Jack Brown. Got 2 more minutes of action here in the first half. Atlanta try and continue their march to the playoffs. Kick is up, and it is good from 48. 31-7, Atlanta with a commanding lead.
Yeah, and Jacksonville seems to be, whenever they're going up against teams that have to play for it all in the final week of the season, they do not go too well. Just a few seasons back against Charleston, they ended up losing that game 45-10 when the Preds were in a very similar situation as these Atlanta Swarm were in just a few seasons ago.
Over Steele. Sammy Steele comes back out to kick us off once more. Jacksonville are going to need a good return from Way. Tries to cut to the near side. Kicks out of a tackle. Down past the 25, but not much further. He's eventually wrapped up at the 26. Out comes Jordan Sipe and company, looking to put a 2-minute drill drive together. They will have to kick the ball away to begin the second half, so points are needed as they close out the first half.
Yeah, we should be seeing him get aggressive on this drive, and this looks like a decent start.
The Atlanta defense also being a little aggressive. They play bump coverage. Pass over the middle into double coverage. Nearly knocked into the hands of the safety, Chris Henry, but it ultimately falls to the turf.
I was very close to getting ready to hear you go off about another interception by Atlanta, because that was just too dangerous of a throw. All those defenders right there, and 44 was right behind them, ready to make a pick if any of them got the tip.
Well, if there's one thing that can be said, Sipe trying to be aggressive, maybe a little bit too aggressive there on first down. 2nd and 10 from his own 26. One wide receiver tucked in tight to the right side of the offensive line with 2 backs in the backfield. Sipe, quick drop, looking for Ackerman right side. Caught. He cannot spin out of the tackle. It's a pickup of about 7 as Jack Napier, who now is maybe an infamous member of the Showboated Too Early Club.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get... I'm sure the people over at the Pause Network are already firing up the editing software to have some fun with that clip. But not a bad start here for the drive for Jacksonville.
Third and 3, they find Ellington, and
Oh.
Ellington drops the football. That's going to stay in bounds, and picking it up is Jay Miraculous. His second fumble recovery of the ball game.
We'll have to see if this stands, though, Tyler. But, of course, broadcaster's curse. Just as I say that it's going well, this happens. They lose another fumble, and it's another fumble recovery for the Swarm. Only in Jacksonville.
The replay booth will review the previous
Well,
play.
we might not be done just yet with that play. RC2 wants to take a second look at that fumble, make sure Ellington hauled in the catch.
I think he did, because, let's see, he caught it, spun. Oh, yeah, that was long enough, I think. We'll have to see what R62 has to say, but either way, it's either going to be fourth down or Atlanta gets the football.
After
Let's see what RC2 has to say.
the receiver did not have possession of the ball and is therefore incomplete.
And so, nothing changes. The ruling on the field stands. Atlanta football on yet another costly turnover for the Kings.
And, well, unfortunately, the Kings do not seem to solve their turnover problem they had in the last meeting in this first half so far. And Atlanta can look to extend their lead just a little bit more.
4 total turnovers tonight for the Kings as Atlanta's taking them to town as Dynasty looking over the middle. That's the first turnover for Jacksonville. A great pick from Bernard Gooden, and the Kings get the ball right back.
And talk about payback here. Just a tip drill catch at the 5. And Atlanta's defense, I'm sure they're kind of surprised. They're running back out onto the field.
We had 9 turnovers in this Week 2 matchup between these two clubs. We already have 5 before the halftime break. Sipe going to look to throw over the middle. That one is caught by Grayson Willis to the 24-yard line. No hurry up just yet here from the Kings. The clock continues to wind down.
Yeah, and as they were showing so far, Willis has been having a pretty nice game so far, receiving touchdown on 2 receptions, 69 total yards, been having a very nice performance.
1st and 10. Now here for the Kings. 3 wideouts here for Sipe as we tick under the 40-second mark. 5-step drop from Sipe, looking outside, finds Ellington, who cannot get out of bounds in time, and that will mean Jacksonville will have to call a timeout.
Now what the play calling is going to do is going to get a little bit interesting because Jacksonville's got to move the ball down the field, but they don't want to be too aggressive because, well, they've had a bit of a turnover bug so far in this game, if you haven't noticed, Tyler.
Just a wee bit of some indecisive football. As now with 30 seconds to go, Sipe changing the play here on 2nd down. It'll be a run near side for Willis, spinning out of 1 and 2 tackles and picking up the 1st down to the 36. Back to the line they go. 1st and 10 now from the 36. They go with another run for Willis, near side out of a couple tackles, and he's free. Cross midfield down to the 48. Just about 10 seconds to go. You got to hurry, Jacksonville. 6 seconds to go. Still no play called. And they call a timeout from the 48-yard line, well outside of field goal range. We might just see a Hail Mary.
That would be the smart idea. Let's see what Frank Gooden cooks up with. He's been making a lot of the noise off the field this week, Tyler, when it comes to his Kings. Let's see if he can make just as much noise on the field this final play before the half.
I'd like to hear you touch more on that little tidbit into the halftime. As here they come. Jacksonville going to try and throw up a prayer here to end the first half. Sipe under pressure. Down he goes. Jack Napier comes up with a sack. And that will do it for the first half. The Kings down by a lot. 31-7 as we go into the halftime break. Partner, let's talk about Frank Gooden and his Kings. Not a whole lot going right here in the football game. What more can you tell us about what's going on here in this football game?
Yeah, so far as it shows, Tyler, it's been pretty much all Atlanta, although a lot of it's come from their defense. One pick six, another one that should have been a pick six, 2 fumble recoveries. It's just been a defensive onslaught, and the offense hasn't really needed to do that much. As it showed there, Jacksonville actually has more yards at this point, but a large part of that comes down to the fact that Atlanta, they pretty much just haven't ran the ball at all so far today.
Now, is the case being that Atlanta's been able to take advantage of these turnovers and score? Or is it more wasteful in possession for the Kings, do you think?
I think that's a little bit of both, Tyler. Also, you have to consider Atlanta's been in situations where there's not a lot of space to go for them, like this drive right here that started with this fumble recovery. They only had 11 yards to go. You can't get a lot of yards if you're starting at the 11. And look, here's them getting all those 11 yards in this one play. Bada bing, bada boom, back in the end zone.
And so as we get into the second half, partner, Jacksonville's going to have to do a lot more on offense and be a little bit more consistent as we take a look at what is surely going to be part of the Pause Network. Jack Napier, just a little bit too early, my friend, and caught all of us off guard. Caught me off guard in the booth as well. But Jacksonville offense needs to be more consistent, cannot give away the football, and are going to have to play perfect football from here on out. Atlanta just has to keep doing what they're doing, or what else can Atlanta do to salt this game away?
I mean, pretty much at this point, as you said, just keep doing what you're doing. Atlanta's been playing a darn near perfect game of football through 22 minutes here, Tyler. Not really much that you can criticize them for. Maybe get Hollywood a little bit more involved. But when you're up 31-7 at the half, there's not a lot of feedback that you can say.
We talked about BDG a little bit in that second quarter, partner. He is nowhere closer to the 50,000 yard mark than he was at the beginning of the game. 3 attempts on the ground, 0 total yards from a dangerous BDG. Now, I wonder as we get closer and closer to the end of this football game, whether or not we'll see a lot more touches from BDG. He only needs 22, so I think that's a pretty easy task for someone of his caliber.
Yeah, he should be getting it by the end of this ball game. It's doable. It's definitely doable. It's just, it's nowhere near enough. And also, he's looking to go for 15,000 rushing yards, not 50,000. That'd be bonkers.
That would be an incredible career, to say the least, as we welcome you back here to the Hive, here in Atlanta, Georgia. Tyler Falk, Jack Brown here in the booth, Eddie Gage, and Mark Chisholm in the stats truck, along with our producer and SFL commissioner, Cameron Irvine. We welcome you back here to the last Friday night of the SFL regular season here in season 19. And we're underway to begin the second half. Atlanta will get the ball to start this half as Finnemore on the return gets all the way to the 25 before being slowed up. And that is where we'll see Dynasty and the rest of the Swarm offense retake the field.
Yeah, and as we were talking about here, Tyler, during the halftime break, not a whole lot that you can really give in terms of constructive feedback for this Swarm offense. They've been effectively perfect. They just need to get BDG a little bit more involved in the running game.
Keep chugging along, and here they come. First play of the drive in the half. Dynasty immediately under pressure will float it out to Hollywood, and Hollywood does well enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. Great containment from Jacksonville's defense. Bernard Gooden made the hit.
Yeah, and it already seems that that Atlanta is kind of slowing it down just a little bit with their play calling. I mean, it makes sense. You know, you're up by 4 scores, so you know you can kind of take a chill pill now if you think you need to.
2nd and 10. We're gonna go back to the air again. Atlanta under pressure. Pass over the middle, tipped and picked. A deflection will result in Dynasty's second interception of the ball game, and Jacksonville gets the ball. It was originally tipped by Young Vaught and into the arms of Chuck Diesel.
And now is the time that I think you kind of realize that maybe taking the chill pill is not the greatest of ideas, because now Jacksonville gets the ball essentially right back in tremendous field position and can strike to make this game all the more closer.
One of the best starting field positions of the night here for the Kings. As Sipe's going to look to throw. Looks left side for Willis, and Willis could not haul it in with one hand. Maybe felt the footsteps of a Qantas Shine bearing down on him. Second and 10 here for the Kings after the interception from Atlanta's 35. Just getting going here in the second half. Sipe, play action, looks near side, caught near the sideline. It's the man of the hour here for the Kings, Caesar Ackerman, who has been called on quite a few times tonight and for good effect.
Yeah, he's been pretty much the only real thing that's been effective for Jacksonville on a consistent basis. Everything else, well, apart from maybe Grayson Willis, everything else has been just not very good.
Leading receiver in terms of receptions tonight with 9, as Sipe's going to look to throw here on third down and nearly threw it right into the arms of Cree Higgins. And so Jacksonville cannot convert off the turnover with a touchdown. Out trots Jordan Bradshaw to maybe get 3 points out of this.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Sipe should consider himself very lucky that linebackers don't have hands and can't catch. Because if they could, yeah.
You would say most of the time, but then you got to remember that Chuck Diesel, linebacker for Jacksonville, just came up with a thing. Yeah, so
true.
Here we
go.
go.
Most of the time.
Jordan Bradshaw, a little bit of a low delayed snap, but somehow gets it up and gets it through from 49 yards out. 31-10. It's now a 21-point ball game. The SFL Minor League is about to begin. Games kick off next week on Friday, October 14th, right here on SFL YouTube. And it's not too late to get your player in the ball game. Create him and get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20's rookie draft takes place December 17th and 18th, so don't miss your chance. The sooner you create your player, the better your player will be on draft day. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. On the return is Finnemore, who didn't like the right side, spins away, and maybe one spin too many. He had nobody in front of him. Credit Zomelia with the tackle from behind. So a return that could have put maybe some points on the board again for the Swarm. Ultimately gets them some pretty substantial field position to begin this drive. Offset eye behind Dynasty as Jacksonville going to stack the box. He got 9 men in that box on defense. Run right side for BDG. He's got a couple. His first positive in the ball game in terms of yards. Make it 4.
Yeah, and well, he finally chips away at that milestone tracker we've been going on with him. Now down to just 18 yards needed to cross 15K all time.
Shotgun formation here for the Swarm. Dynasty fires over the middle into double coverage, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Falco, who was flying on another post route, and the ball will fall to the ground. So Atlanta's offense comes out on third down. The pass to run ratio heavily in the pass, and ultimately might be to their detriment if they're trying to milk this clock out. Dynasty looking right side, corner out, caught behind the defense, and to the 40-yard line all the way down to the 38 goes Finnemore.
And he just keeps the ball moving. He's been the main deep threat that this Atlanta offense, mixing up my X's and O's. Just the deep ball, high points it. Finnemore goes up and comes right back down. Huge gain for Atlanta.
25 yards all told for Kyle Finnemore as they cross midfield into Jacksonville territory. First and 10 from the 38. 2 wideouts right, 2 tight ends on the line to the left here for Bryant Dynasty. They'll go back to the air. Swing pass near side for Hollywood. He's got trouble on the near sideline, only able to pick up 2 as Garrett Hudson was in amongst others making the tackle. A short pickup on first down leads to a second, a little more than a medium distance to go. Dynasty going to look for Hollywood again out of the backfield. Hollywood out of a tackle. Shifty moves here from Hollywood. He is tough to bring down. He picks up 5.
Well, yeah, it's hard to bring him down when he's going here, there, and everywhere. You don't know where he's going to be at any given moment. Just keeping Jacksonville honest and keeping them on their toes as Atlanta continues to drive the ball down the field.
Jacksonville's defense hold Atlanta to another field goal. Bryant Dynasty will look to pass over the middle into triple coverage, and it's Stuart Zomelia who comes up with the 3rd pick of the ball game for Jacksonville.
And it seems to be that Dynasty has gone ice cold with his passes, because now he's just throwing dots to the op like there's no tomorrow.
Third pick of the ball game for Jacksonville as their offense comes out 1st and 10 from the 7. Sipe looks near side, turning upfield nicely is Grayson Willis. He'll pick up a Kings first down to the 18-yard line. First and 10 after the nice route ran by Willis. Just under the 7:30 mark to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sipe going to look to pass left side, finds Kingston Ellington this time. A couple of these out routes working in Jacksonville's favor, partner.
Yeah, and really that's all you can ask for right now as Jacksonville looks to crawl back into this game. And if they can move the ball down the field and score on this drive, I think we might have a football game back in our hands.
Every comeback starts with a small step. As passed over the middle, caught. Good move by Bobby Swain, wide out. We'll pick up another Kings first down.
And that's exactly, again, like you want to see. A lot of these slants plays, the all slants, very popular in the SFL because they get you the yardage and they're not too risky.
Have to be accurate on those crossing routes. We've seen a couple of passes in recent weeks on those crossing slant patterns that have resulted in interceptions to the quarterback holding the ball just a little bit too long. Good for a young quarterback to realize that, get the ball quickly out of his hand as Jared Willis picks up 4 yards to the 35-yard line. We were talking about it earlier, Jax. The blocking for Jacksonville in the run game is paramount to Willis' success.
Yeah, and they've been doing a decent job here so far because Sipe and Willis haven't been getting too much pressure. And oh my!
And the blocking fails him this time around. Joshua Williams comes up with his 2nd tackle for loss in the ball game, his 1st sack.
This game is just full of broadcaster curses, ain't it? You know, you say Jack Napier gets a pick 6, he dances out. I say they haven't gotten a lot of pressure. In comes Williams, flies in, gets the sack. Nothing's real anymore. Our words clearly mean nothing.
So trouble here for the Kings here on 3rd and long. Atlanta send 4. Sipe launches one over the middle, and it's nearly caught by Azariah Way, but the hit jars the ball free, and out will come the punting unit for Jacksonville.
And Chris Henry, the man who put the clamp down on that play, just running out of that situation and came in. Luckily for Atlanta, they jar the ball loose and they put this drive they grind this drive to a halt.
So here comes Howard McCoy for another punt here in the ball game. First punt for Jacksonville here in the half. It's on its way. Fenimore back deep to return here for Atlanta from his own 40-yard line, and he makes a little progress up to the 41-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for more info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. All the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. Puts it off to Dynasty's right here on first down. He'll look to pass, pressure coming, gets it over the middle, first down, and more. Great move from Siege Falco, finding extra yards to the 27.
And Siege Falco picks up another huge gain, and now I'm pretty sure the entire chat's going to start looking like the Dome out in St. Louis during the spring seasons with just a cacophony of caws as he catches it, spins it, gets a few more yards. So much on one play.
Second play of the drive now here for Atlanta. Dynasty under pressure, escapes it for now, throws across his back shoulder, and it's nearly caught by Jamal Wooding. What a play that would have been from Bryant Dynasty.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything was just a little bit off. Maybe if everything was about 5 inches this way or that way, it would have been a huge touchdown to put Atlanta even further in the lead.
Nearly completed a remarkable pass to Wooding. Ultimately, it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 now here for the Swarm. 3-3 nickel out of Jacksonville with this 3 wide receiver set. Dynasty has to quickly get rid of it to BDG, and BDG makes 1 move, 2 moves, and is finally taken down by Stuart Zomelia after picking up 5.
And Zomelia, maybe the biggest asset on this Jacksonville Kings defense, got the pick the last drive, has been on like a hawk every time. He's been doing pretty well for himself.
Third and 5 now here for the Swarm. BDG on the swing pass right side. Can't get out of the tackle. Only a 2-yard pickup as John Martin was able to get to the dangerous tailback, and Atlanta are going to have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, but still they extend their lead nonetheless here, partner. And they've been doing fine enough during this third quarter, which compared to the first half has been pretty dang quiet.
Out comes Sammy Steele. He's been perfect this evening. This a 36.5-yard attempt from the right hash. Snap spot. Kick is on its way, and it is good from 36 officially. 34-10 your score. And you have to wonder, partner, if the score line holds, which it more than likely will, though we have seen some crazier things happen. And Carolina and Canton might be shaking in their boots back home as they see another one of their 5 and 6 rivals come out with a possible win here tonight.
Yeah, Canton, I'm sure they've been sitting in the locker room, and I'm pretty sure Carolina probably still has left Fort Moultrie down in Charleston since their game ended, just watching this game, and it cannot feel too good to see arguably the best of the 5 and 6 teams playing this well. It may in effect knock them out of the playoff.
Azariah Way returns at the 21-yard line as Jacksonville's offense takes to the field. Also going on SFL YouTube, it's Seattle and Portland in a Pacific Division clash. Seattle with a loss will clinch the first overall pick in the season 20 draft. A win and an Indianapolis loss complicates matters in the draft order as Jared Willis gets the call left side. Plenty of room for Willis as he gets out of 1 and 2 and right near midfield, close to the 45-yard line.
You know, it was often asked, what are you doing, Willis? And Willis answers with a good run to the outside. Just the blocking once again comes into effect. Sheds a tackler, can't shed, well, sheds 2, and he almost broke it to the end zone. That was very close to being a touchdown run.
That's a good drive starter of 24 yards for Mr. Willis. 1st and 10 now here for the Kings. They come out with a bunch set to the right side of the offensive formation. Sipe looking over the middle. Nice catch by Grayson Willis. And the Willis brothers combine to quickly move Jacksonville across midfield.
Yeah, now you're starting to see Jacksonville really enter into a rhythm this drive. Decently big plays left and right, but they're going to need to see if they can even work with it on the smaller scale stuff.
39 yards combined between Jared and Grayson Willis the last 2 plays. As Sipe's going to look for a deep shot over the middle, almost picked up by a backpedaling Moose Papineau, and it falls incomplete. Have to say, partner, great awareness from the free safety on that last play.
Yeah, much like a real moose, he gets the hands up, much like the antlers, and just bats the ball down. You know, much like how a moose can be deceptively scary in real life, Moose Papineau is a deceptively deadly safety for this Atlanta Swarm defense.
Sipe again going to look for a deep pass. He's under pressure. Great coverage. He's going to take off and run with it. Got plenty of space in front of him. It's a nice scamper of 14 yards for Jordan Sipe and a Jacksonville 1st down.
What awareness from Jordan Sipe to realize he has the lane open in front of him. You don't see SFL quarterbacks that often. You know, it's not like on Sundays, you know, where quarterbacks are running whenever their first read doesn't work. Excellent awareness from Jordan Sipe.
Not going to look to throw again. Under pressure again. He can't escape it this time. Down he goes. It's a loss of 5 on the play. Joshua Williams with his 3rd sack tonight.
He has been eating and eating. It may as well be a quarterback buffet back there for Joshua Williams, and he's the only one who is invited, getting 2nd and 3rd helpings.
4 total sacks tonight here for the Swarm defense. The only other sack comes by courtesy of quarterback Jack Napier as Willis gets the call on 2nd and long. Can't do anything about it. He's taken down right near the line of scrimmage by Cree Higgins, and he'll be 3rd on a country mile upcoming.
3rd and 16 from 42 yards.
Jacksonville can't move backward any further, otherwise they'd be out of field goal range. Sipe looking near side. That's a one-handed catch near the 10-yard line by Kingston Ellington. 1st down, and how?
Well, I'll tell you how it was. It's because Ellington barely beat out the defender, cut back in, was right in front of him. And let's watch this catch again, Tyler. Oh, too good. Too good. The extension, probably the arm fell out of its socket, if we're going to be honest here. And he gets the 1st down.
A brilliant catch, and Sipe, give credit to the quarterback as well, putting it in a Kingston Ellington spot where only Ellington can go ahead and snag that ball out of midair. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sipe with a 7-step drop lefting near side for Ackerman, the tight end on their patented tight end crossing route, as Aquana Shine bats that one away.
Yeah, Shine, another one of the many legends on this Atlanta Swarm defense. 2nd all time in the tackle count here in the SFL.
2nd and 10.
He's right behind our statistician for the evening, the Hall of Famer, Eddie Gage, who leads the league in tackles by quite some distance, I might add. 2nd and 10. Now here for the Kings. Looking to get on the board again. Past Kingston Ellington. Touchdown, Jacksonville. What a pass from Sipe. Fitted into the window, and Ellington, he does all the rest.
And Jacksonville is slowly but surely crawling back into this game, Tyler. If Atlanta ain't careful, well, we know where they're from, and we know what their city has a propensity for doing.
Another certain pro football team in Atlanta who's known for giving up a certain score line, a 28-3. Now, at one point, the score line was 28-0. We'll see what happens here as Jacksonville try and claw their way back into this one. Snap spot. Bradshaw's kick is up and good with 39 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It's not over yet. A 17-point spread between Atlanta and Jacksonville here at the Hive. Jordan Bradshaw tees it up once again as we're about to get set to roll once more. On its way, Finnemore back deep to return. Nearly broke one open on the last return. This time, he gets bottled up at the 23-yard line, and that is where Atlanta will start their next drive. They've kind of slowed down in terms of scoring. Maybe that first quarter was best we're going to see out of that offense partner.
Yeah, it seems that they've kind of run into an issue where, when they're aggressive and they're playing with happy feet, they can do damage, but now they're slowing down. They may have slowed down too much.
3 interceptions and a field goal in the last 4 drives as Dynasty hands off to Hollywood, and he's going to lose yardage. So add 5 carries for BDG, only a yard to show for his night. Defense getting into the backfield in a hurry. Chuck Diesel leading the charge, the former Rev for Louisiana. Gets into the backfield and leads the charge for the Swarm, is now at 2nd, 13. The Swarm offense takes the field again. Clock winds down. This will be the final play of the third quarter. Dynasty will look to throw. Pressure coming. He tries to get out of it, and he's taken down at the 10. They'll get him forward progress back to the 12, but it's another tackle as Jacksonville closes out the third quarter with a Joey Schwitz sack. And that brings us to the fourth quarter. Get your 4s, 86s, 68s, and 12s up in chat here in the last Friday night in season 19. So many things still could happen. We're about to find out what will here in the fourth quarter. SFL football on YouTube. We come back. Fourth quarter. Here we go. Atlanta's pass over the middle is caught by Jamal Wooding, getting some of the yards back, but 9 yards shy of the first down. And so Atlanta will have to punt. Tyler Falk alongside Jack Brown here in the booth. Eddie Gage and Mark Chisholm in the Stets truck. Happy to have you along with us here this Friday evening. Atlanta have to punt this one away. Lopan had one punt earlier that landed all the way at the goal line of Jacksonville. This time, he's back deep, almost alone near his own end zone. The punt is away. Nice high spiraling punt from Pan. Returned by Wade gets them up to the 39-yard line. And we want to remind you that 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. First and 10 here for the Kings. Sipe going to look near side. Finds Kingston Ellington. He's taken out at the 45-yard line to pick up a 6.
And Ellington has definitely been one of the members of this wide receiver core, Tyler, who over the course of primarily the second half, he's actually gotten pretty dang good in the second half.
Sipe will go under center here on second down. 2 wideouts off to his right. We'll go on the ground to Willis, right side. A couple of blockers in that direction, but ultimately taken down from behind by Jefferson.
And Willis continues his march forward, now over 75 rushing yards here, while BDG is still struggling to get going with a single yard to his name so far.
Quick drop from Sipe. Over the middle. Caught for a pickup of 6 for Ellington. Ellington starting to become more of the focal point here in this fourth quarter. Should say rather the second half. We were talking about Ackerman leading the team in receptions. He's now tied with Ackerman Ellington. It isn't a deep drop here from Sipe. Looking near side for Ackerman, and that's Ackerman's 10th reception. It's going to go back and forth between Ellington and Ackerman, I fear, partner, but that might just be the recipe for success for Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's certainly moving them down the field, and it's been what's been getting them slowly but surely back in this football game.
Now they'll spread the field with 4 wide. Sipe alone in the gun. Pass over the middle, just a little bit too far for Bobby Swain to haul in. That slant pattern worked a little bit earlier in the ball game. Didn't work out that time. Swain already has 1 reception in 2 targets tonight, so pretty decent target for Sipe to throw to. Offset eye behind Sipe here on second down. Pass right side, caught by Grayson Willis. That'll be for 6 yards after he's clattered to the ground by Jack Napier. Third down on its way.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's going to need this third down. From the 27-yard line. They need points. They need them now. Atlanta send 4. Pass over the middle. A diving attempt at a pick. Goes for naught as somehow Sipe fits it in for Grayson Willis. First and goal, Kings.
And now the Kings are knocking on the door, making this possibly a 2-possession, like 2.5 possession ball game as Sipe threads the needle as Miraculous tried to jump the route. And if you're in Carolina or Canton right now, you're hoping that Jacksonville keeps up this momentum because they're playing well, a little bit dangerously well if I was an Atlanta fan.
And off Jared Willis through the middle. He gets out of 1, still fighting for the end zone. Taken down 3 yards shy. Bill Jefferson on the stop. Here it brings up second and goal now here for the Kings. We're closing on the 7-minute mark here on the fourth quarter. Offset eye behind Jordan Sipe. Goal line set here for Atlanta. Stretch play. Willis can't go anywhere. Chris Henry bursts through the outside of the line and takes down Willis hard as Willis is slow to get up.
And that's the first time in what feels like in about forever and a day that the Atlanta Swarm defense has finally clamped down on Jacksonville, has been able to get something going.
Spread look here for the Kings on third and goal. Sipe over the middle looking for Swain. Can't do it. Good deflection from Shine. Now Jacksonville have a decision to make. I think they go with the field goal.
Yeah, and that's what they're probably going to do. Go for the safer option. Go for the points. You still need 3 scores anyway. May as well get one of them out of the way now. And you have a much clearer road ahead.
This one, not much more than a glorified chip shot. A 24-yard attempt from the right hash for Jordan Bradshaw. Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is good. 34-20 your score line. It's only now a 2-score ball game, partner, as things get rather testy here in Atlanta.
Yeah, if I were the Swarm now, I would not take any more chill pills on the sideline. Start turning up the heat on the offense again, because that first half offense was pretty much doing whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Ever since then, well, as I said, it's kind of ground to a halt.
And more on the return. A nice return. One of his better of the day gets to the 26-yard line for Atlanta as the Swarm come back out in offense. And one man that I don't think any of us, either us here in the booth or you guys at home, would have expected BDG Hollywood to receive so few touches, and with his touches, not able to do a whole lot with. We'll see if that changes here on this drive. Dynasty is going to look to throw. Pass over the middle. It is caught at midfield. Jamal Wooding with a nice catch.
And finally, it seems to be that Atlanta's woken back up and has realized what exactly the situation is right now. They can't afford to lose this game. And so finally they wake back up and they decide to play a little bit of offense.
They come out in an eye. Here on the second play of the drive from just over midfield. Stretch play near side here for BDG. You'll get 3 yards back. And he's back to 4 positive yards. He's averaging just under a yard per carry tonight. As Jacksonville's defense have done a really good job of bottling him up when he does get called on the ground. 2nd and 7. Now here for the Swarm. Go again, back to the air. Pass over the middle. Caught inside the 35. Down to the 32 goes Kyle Finnemore.
And now for the first time in what feels like forever, they're within Jacksonville's 35, effectively within some sort of scoring position. Looking to hopefully get their lead back out to 3 scores.
And a field goal would do it as we tick under the 5-minute mark of the final 5 minutes of the regular season for Jacksonville, and maybe something more for Atlanta to do in the offseason, but this could also be their final game as the run up the middle goes for about 7 yards, but for one of the few times tonight we got some laundry on the field. We head down to R62. They will tag the offense on that. That is the right tackle, Ben Hightower, who gets called with the offensive holding. That'll set Atlanta back 10 yards.
And that obviously is not very good for Atlanta. That's now also going to most likely put them outside of Sammy Seal's field goal range. So they're going to have to work that back.
Check that was the center, Tommy Williams. And up the middle, BDG finding a hole, gaining some momentum here on the ground as he gets up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards for BDG.
He's getting there, just taking it a few yards at a time, going at his own pace. And clearly now that Atlanta can kind of just run the ball out, we might be seeing him break that 15K.
We've been alluding to it all night long. Will BDG get it before the end of season 19? Back to the air. Pass over the middle, looking for Siege Falco. The hit jarred the ball free. It's John Martin, and it's 3rd and 13 upcoming for the Swarm.
Simple throw over the middle to Falco. Surprised he honestly dropped it. Maybe it was a little bit too high for him. But it was not a bad play. Certainly not bad play calling.
3rd and 13 now here for the Swarm. Have to get to the 22. Convert here on 3rd down. 5-step drop from Dynasty. Looking for the first down. He's got it. To the 11-yard line goes Boo Chisholm.
And it's another catch for Chisholm as he takes that throw from Dynasty. He gets a few yards after the catch to boot. And now Atlanta can go back into more of a 4-minute offense, just look to waste the clock out.
And with that last reception for Chisholm, that sets a new career high in receiving yards tonight. With currently just over his 1249 set in season 17, currently has 1250 in season 19. First and 10 from the red zone. Swing pass left side for BDG. Can he get there? He can! Touchdown, Atlanta! And now the mountain might be too high to climb for Jacksonville.
And what a perfect time for the boys from the 404 to reignite the offense, as they're going to be officially dropping 40 on these Kings. And look at BDG Hollywood tiptoeing on the sidelines. Sneaks it in, and that's going to be another 6 points on the board.
On to try and make it 7 is Sammy Steele, and this game has really been Atlanta's. At least the first half was. At the end of the second quarter into the third quarter, we saw Jacksonville start to make a charge back to try and tie up this football game. Atlanta now brings the lead back out to 21, 41-20. A Swarm are loving it here at home in the Hive. Does your team have 6 wins or more this season? Then you still have a chance to make the playoffs. What are those chances? Who might be the potential wildcard round matchups? And who will you be cheering for on the league's final day? Join Commissioner Cameron Irvine and his Scenario Show crew Saturday at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, a late night for a lot of folks, including everybody on that Scenario Show, for a breakdown of the remaining 16 playoff scenarios live right here on the SFL's YouTube channel. I'll be there. I know Rochelle Costin's going to be there. Jack, are you going to be part of that show tomorrow night?
Mayhaps. Well, you'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out.
We will certainly do that. First and 10 now.
You got to bait them, you know?
Right. First and 10 now here for Jacksonville. Down by 21. We're probably going to see a heavy dose of Sipe trying to air out this football and get his guys back into this football game. They're going to need him to play miraculously. Pass over the middle. It is caught for a gain of about 9 to the tight end, Caesar Ackerman. And back to the line they go. Sipe going to throw again, this time deeper over the middle. Caught at Atlanta's 47 by Grayson Willis. First down again here for Jacksonville. 2 minutes, 46 seconds and ticking here left in the ball game. Sipe pumps once, now fires into traffic, somehow finds his man, caught for a first down. That's Kingston Ellington for another Kings first down. Now they're at the Atlanta 34. Still going are the Kings. Sipe changing up the play once more. Under 2:25 to go. Sipe now hikes it, looks right side for Ellington. Ellington knocked out of bounds on the 30-yard line, which will stop the clock and give both players and broadcaster a chance to catch their breath.
Yes, Jacksonville is now moving the ball with conviction down the field. 2:21 remaining here in the fourth, Tyler. This game has been pretty much the epitome of kind of too little too late for Jacksonville. No, they only really kind of showed up here in Atlanta, it seemed, when the game was already halfway done.
Sipe looking for a slant pattern over the middle, finds Ackerman out of a tackle inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, Kings, as they continue to move down the field. Just closing in on the 2-minute warning. This will be the final play before the warning. Sipe over the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville! It's Azariah coming up with a touchdown catch. Jacksonville not done yet.
Jacksonville still clinging on. They're still in the mindset that they're going to win this football game, and they're certainly going to keep it entertaining. Now we're going to see if they go for 1 or 2, because it's kind of an interesting scenario right now. You know, do you go for the 2 now, see what you have to work with, or do you go for 1, just try and chip away 3 touchdowns? They're going to go for 1.
Bradshaw on to tackle home the extra point. 2 minutes, 3 seconds to go. They're going to need this and a few onside kicks to go their way. Snap spot. Bradshaw's extra point is up and good. 41-27, a 14-point ball game here between Atlanta and Jacksonville. As we will stay with this one. Bradshaw going to try and get the right hop from his onside kick.
And onside kicks, Tyler, as we both know, they are completely unpredictable here in the SFL.
It took Jacksonville a minute 14 to drive the length of the football field. Now they need this one, but it's hauled in quite cleanly by Anasanobi And that'll take us the 2-minute warning. The Swarm up by 14, looking to put this one away. You're watching the SFL, presented by APM Music, right here on YouTube. Final minutes of Jacksonville's season, and possibly a playoff berth on the line here for Atlanta. They lead by 14. Handoff. BDG left side, breaking off a couple of tackles. Will get 8 all told as Jacksonville calls a timeout.
Smart play calling now by Atlanta. Just look to burn out the clock. Nothing too fancy. You don't need a whole lot.
2nd and 2, a first down. A first down with BDG Hollywood. See him cross the 15,000 rushing yard mark. As they go with a run, he will get the first down. And if Jacksonville don't take the penalty, we'll have witnessed history. Let's get the call from R62.
Will
It is
Atlanta take
offside. They will take the penalty. Hold the celebrations for BDG just yet. It's a first down for Atlanta off the penalty.
They need just 3 yards from BDG to cross 15,000. Never is waiting for a 3-yard run more intense.
BDG off to the left-hand side behind BDG. He will get a swing pass in the direction of the sideline, staying in bounds, forcing a timeout out of Jacksonville. Only a 1-yard pickup.
Honestly, surprised they threw it on that play, considering the fact that, that just slows everything down.
Minute 48 left to go in regulation. Same exact formation here for the Swarm. Blitz being shown again as Dynasty looks left. That is caught by Wooding, and he is knocked out of bounds. Jacksonville will get to save their final timeout as Atlanta will stop the clock.
Yeah, that was a pretty weird play call. I'm surprised they're not running it, considering, all things that could go wrong with passing the ball in this situation.
3rd and 7 from the 24-yard line. Cornerbacks back off, hand off. BDG Hollywood, he's got 15,000
Yes!
to the 20-yard line here at the Hive. And what a way to do it here at home as Jacksonville call their final timeout. It's history here in Atlanta, Georgia.
He's finally done it. It took us 19 seasons of intense simulation football action, and right at the death, BDG sneaks over for 23 yards today. He needed 22, 15,001 career rushing yards for BDG Hollywood.
BDG has spent a majority of his career, if not all of his career, here in Atlanta. And he rewards the faithful with 15,000 glorious yards. And Atlanta tacks it off with a 3-point field goal. It's a 17-point ball game. Atlanta will more than likely win this football game and will still have a shot at the playoffs. Still, things need to go their way. A lot of teams need to win, a lot of teams need to lose. We'll cover all of that on Sunday, or Saturday evening, I should say, on the Scenario Show. As Wade gets turned around just a little bit down at the 14-yard line, and we conclude the final week of the SFL regular season tomorrow and Sunday. And you can catch all the drama, the most critical games of the playoff picture, starting tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. when Vegas meets Arizona for the West Division, and Sunday at 8:45 when Sioux Falls battles Tulsa for the Central on Next Level Sports. For a channel guide and more info about NXT, visit NLSE.com. Sipe gonna throw over the middle, caught for a short pickup of only about 5 yards, and they hurry back to the line. 2nd and 5 now. Sipe gonna look to throw once again. Looking for the corner out this time. That's caught near the 38-yard line. Jacksonville hustling back to the line. Minute 10 and ticking. Here in Jacksonville's season 19. Swing pass near side, Jared Willis. Willis, can he break out of a tackle? Yes. Can't break out of the second one by Mo Guns. Pick up a 9 for Willis. Now to the 47 go Jacksonville. Bump coverage now on the outside from the corner. Sipe going to look to throw. Atlanta send the blitz. Sipe hit as he throws. Ball falls to the turf, incomplete. BRV with the hit.
That was smart. That was smart for Sipe just to get the ball out of his hand before he gets sacked so he can at least stop the clock.
Sipe going to look to throw over the middle. Incomplete, looking for Way. A little bit of miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. And it's 4th down for Jacksonville. Possibly the final offensive play for Jacksonville's offense here in season 19. The Hive getting allowed one last time. Sipe to throw. Over the middle, it is dropped. Dropped by Bobby Swain. Atlanta take over and will win the football game to go to 6-6.
And hearts have sank all across the state of Ohio and North Carolina as Atlanta, who has a better strength of victory than either of those two teams, is going to win this game and draw level, pull up to 6-6, and might just have a hope at making the 19th edition of the Simulation Football League playoffs.
That's the first kneel down for Atlanta. Ace Goddard in for Bryant Dynasty, and let's talk about the season for both these clubs. Regardless of what happens in Atlanta, they need a lot of things to go their way, Jack. But it's been a good stretch of a couple of games for them. They get to 6-6 after the win last week versus Las Vegas. And, of course, the win here tonight versus Jacksonville. And for Jacksonville, with a rookie quarterback for the first time in quite a while, they've done well to get to 3-8 this season. Not everything has gone their way. But unfortunately for the Kings, it all ends tonight as the Swarm take the victory here in Atlanta, 44-27. It's been a great season 19 for both these ball clubs.
Yeah, and for Jacksonville, they may not have had too many wins this year, but the wins they've gotten, it's been quality over quantity. They've gotten just a few wins, but those wins came against Fort Worth, Arizona, and Houston. 3 of the old guard here in the SFL, and 2 of them, and possibly even all 3 might be in the playoffs. So it's not like Jacksonville was struggling to beat even teams on their level. No, when they went up against the Titans, they could play ball with them.
As we look back on the entirety of the season, Atlanta avoids going back-to-back losing seasons, which they have never done in franchise history. They get back to 500 for the 3rd time in their history, as Jacksonville will have only their 3rd losing season on their franchise history. Last one coming back in season 17 when they went 4-8. Partner, Jacksonville has shown some really good signs of life to close out this season. Back-to-back wins versus playoff hopefuls Houston and Arizona. And they've done well. Sipe has really progressed quite a bit. His completion percentage has skyrocketed, and the team has really come together as of late. For Atlanta, they have done well, winning now 3 of the last 4 games to close out the regular season. Now they hope, partner.
Now they hope and they pray. They'll be watching the rest of this weekend with bated breath, hoping that they can get in. And with Jacksonville, A lot of news has been coming out about them over the past few weeks. Some big changes should be coming for them. It's going to be an interesting future for these two ball clubs. Nothing but excitement from these two.
Meanwhile, the Seattle Nemesis have clinched the number 1 overall draft pick spot for season 20 as they fail to take down Portland in Portland. And that's the one thing we do know. What we don't know is if Atlanta will play postseason football. We will find out soon enough over the course of this weekend, and we hope you tune in for all those games. We got division titles on the line, playoff spots, and a number 1 seed to talk about all weekend long. Your player of the game here at the Hive is none other than Bryant Dynasty. 333 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and over 100 QBR. For my partner, Jack Brown, for Eddie Gage and Mark Chisholm, the stat truck, and for the commissioner and our producer this evening, Cameron Irvine, I've been Tyler Falk. We'll see you later this weekend. And until then, folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa.
Yeah,